All right. I know what you're thinking. It's a road course. It's Mid Ohio, not really even a famous road course. Maybe this is going to be a snooze fest, but I promise you, folks, that is not what is going to happen tonight. Is now these drivers are going to start taking the qualifying Mid Ohio top tier racing. We're going for another round of Gen 4 action, and we are bringing you a road race. I can't wait for this one, as I hear that we do have a ringer in our midst, and we'll talk about ringers in a little bit. As you all know, if you watch iRacing and you watch NASCAR, you know what it's all about with some of these road course ringers, especially with what SVG has done throughout this entire season and what's happened in the past. But I hear we have one of those here tonight, and we will look at that driver. But we still have some points to talk about. We've got some additional scheduling to talk about. We have a little bit of drama to talk about. We're following around Kenny. Listen, I hear it's all good things between the Revved Up Racing team, but little accident last week between Anderson and Kuko. Like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, let's see how those drivers are going to handle when they get around each other. Now, let's talk about your schedule. We're going to pop that up for you right now. We are at Mid Ohio. Next week, we are going to be at Kansas. I will be out of town next week. You will have one of the very best broadcasters in the business is going to bring you this race on the same network next week. So look out for that. That's going to be at Kansas. Then we're going to Indy, Richmond, Eldora. I can't wait for that one. We're going to get out there on the dirt. Then we're going to be at WWT, Martinsville, Chicago road course. Going back to a road course. We might see our ringer come back for that one. We're going to go Dover, Chicagoland, and then we're going to wind this thing up over at Darlington before we go championship hunting. That's going to be Michigan, Road America, Charlotte, Bristol, and Vegas. What do you think about having a road course in your championship 5 races? Let me know. All right, so that is the schedule. Now let's get to our points. So you're going to see we're going to pop up just your top 20 here. Alex Anderson is still going to retain your lead pretty solidly here. 145 on a 119 there for Jake. Jake has had some really good races. He was pretty fast in practice here. He needs a good finish. Jim Thorndike is going to be third. Jim, what I thought was a shoe-in win last week if that thing went green. We got some cautions late in the race, put Jim a little bit further back, but he had a really fast car when those tires started to come in. You've got David. He is going to be in 4th. You've got Nick Raffini in 5th. JD is going to be in 6th. I believe JD was about 2nd or 3rd in the points last week, so he needs a good bounce back. Christian Proctor. Proctor is going to be, spoiler alert, my pick for tonight. That 13 car, I've seen him in other leagues. I know we've got a ringer in our midst. I've heard about it. We'll talk about it. But I do believe that Christian Proctor, oh, and now we see Kenny is going to go around, put that thing into the tire barriers. So he is going to be qualified 2nd right now, so he's going to be just fine. But Christian Proctor is going to be 7th in points. We've got Altman in 8th. Kenny's going to be in 9th. Kenny, 2 really good runs. He picks up the win in Iowa. Little bit of drama last week. Getting turned as the pole sitter and the leader of that race getting turned. He is back tonight. He is in 9th. Shane is going to round out your top 10 in points right there as you can see them. So you can see the rest from 10th all the way down to 20th. Man, this is going to be a pretty exciting one. As you can still see those drivers on the left-hand side, they are still doing their qualifying. We've got 12 drivers that have qualified. Now, how many people are going to be here tonight? Well, we've got about 17 drivers that are logged in that are going to come out here and run tonight. So let's see if we can go around with some other drivers that are out here. Let's look at this fantastic paint job by JD Van Kirk. So JD having some really good runs. It looks like right now he's going to sit 4th on the field. Kelly's in the chat saying, good luck to your mid-tier teammates. I appreciate you, Kelly, every single week. Zebra saying, I heard the 69 has a special car for you. All right, a special car for me. Let's go back and look at Mr. Robert White. He's out on the track. John Ross is, what does it say? JohnRoss.com. Oh, that's fantastic. Let's see if we can zoom in on this guy. Listen, he wants TV time tonight, right? Doesn't he? I mean, look at that. JohnRoss.com. I promise you, if you go to JohnRoss.com, there is nothing there. He says, John Ross is an amazing broadcaster. For those of you that do not know, I broadcast another league, a GT3 league, where he is a driver there. We certainly appreciate him there. So fantastic job. By Zebra. And now he's going to wreck it. You cannot destroy the JohnRoss.com car. My goodness. Rachel, good to hear you back in the chat saying, let's go, JD. I have a feeling JD is going to run well tonight, Rachel. I just feel like he's put some time in. I've seen him go around here in practice. I feel like he's going to have a good run here tonight. Look for really good things out of JD, and I think he needs it. Not to stay in the hunt, because he is firmly in the hunt for the championship, but just I just think we're waiting for that breakthrough performance from JD, and I hope that is going to be tonight. So make sure that you keep your eye on Alex Anderson. He is our points leader coming into this race. He has picked up several wins already on this season. I think about 50% of our races are won by Mr. Alex Anderson. So we got to keep an eye on him. Now, he is qualified 8th, but in practice, he was better than that. I do believe that he wrecked in qualifying. So keep an eye on him. Always a lot of stories that are going to go on. So let's talk about your ringer. That gentleman sitting right there with a 25.43. He is, if you look at the left-hand side for your timing tower, he is a 1.5 faster than your second place qualifier. And that is going to be Brock Morris. Brock, we have not seen this year. Coming in tonight, trying to be that road course ringer that I hear he is. And as you can see, he's going to be at the top of the standings right now for qualifying. So Brock Morris looks like he is going to be the guy to beat. I do believe he has a Terry Labonte style car tonight. It's not going to be cornflakes, but I do believe he has a really nice drive. I saw him in practice. He did have good handle over that car. I do think that your battle might be from second all the way through 5th if Brock can really keep that thing on track. But we are at Mid-Ohio. One of the things we've added tonight for you, and it doesn't look like for some reason you were able to see that. So I'm going to close it, and I'm going to try to pull it back up for you. And let's see if we can find that when we get ready to go green. I'm going to try to put up a track map in the top right-hand corner of this screen for you, as you can see where your favorite driver is going to be. Now, 4.5 minutes to warm up. Who do you have, folks, tonight? My pick tonight, we know what Brock is capable of. We've heard how fantastic he is. I haven't seen Brock run, so we will test that tonight. We're going to get on board with him. We're going to look at it. We're going to see how he does. But my pick tonight, Christian Proctor, he has ran great at several tracks. He had a really good run at Iowa. Very difficult driver to pass. Maybe it's Christian Proctor's night. Maybe Kenny can come back from that wreck earlier last week and get a great finish. I believe he's about 9th in points, so he's going to need a really good finish as well. So you tell me out there who you have. We'll throw that out, and we'll see. So while you're thinking about that, we are going to get ourselves to that very first commercial break of the night so that we can get those things out of the way, because once we go road racing, it is going to be green to checker, and we are not going to want to miss any of that action. So we're going to do that right now. All right, folks. So we got that thing out of the way. Now we got about 90 seconds left. So let's go and take a look and see what we have tonight. So you can see the shape of this track, Mid Ohio. It's a pretty quick track, and it's a short track if you think of road courses. So 2.21 miles of a track. So it is short in the whole grand scheme of road races. It does have some really tight turns. So you can see over here on the left-hand side, you can see that really almost a 45-degree angle turn down at the very bottom. We'll keep an eye on that. It's going to be some heavy braking getting into it because you are coming off of a long straight. You are going to have some draft opportunities coming down that straight, hard braking down. You're going to have that right-hand turn all the way up that straight. You have just a little kink in the middle of that straight. So if you can navigate that correctly, you are wide open into the S's, and then you're going to come down through the carousel, get right back to the start finish line. So the temperature out here tonight, 91 degrees. So it is a hot and balmy track. You can see the altitude 1300. You are going to have some altitude changes throughout the night, and that is going to affect the braking in these Gen 4 cars, the exit speed in these Gen 4 cars, the tire rotation in the right rear. So you've got to make sure when you're running these cars that you're really easy on that throttle on exit. You're going to see a lot of drivers start to wiggle that car back and forth to ensure that they do not get that car out of shape. All right, so 10 seconds to go. Rena, back in chat. Rena, good to have you already tonight, saying have fun, good luck. Jake, we talked about him a little bit earlier, Rena, and I do believe Jake needs a good run tonight. I think he's shown so much speed. It would be great to see him put it all together tonight here at a road course. And you can always tell those drivers that are committed to the series, committed to winning, because they come out, they put the time in to go to a discipline that they're not necessarily familiar with. But I can tell you who is familiar, and that is that gentleman right there, the Corn Dog Designs 05 of Brock Morris. Brock, your road course ringer. We haven't seen him throughout this series yet, but here he is. So look for him to be here and at your Chicago road course. We're going to bring you some pretty cool shots throughout the night. We've got some scenic shots. We got some shots through the S's. We've got a drone that can bring you scenic views all the way throughout this track. We're going to see if we can bring that all to you. Christian Proctor at Hello Kitty on the outside. Remember, Christian has been in other leagues for GT3. He does know how to get around a road course. These drivers, as we know, are going to have to come down pit road at least once. 40 laps, they're going to have to come down. Do you take tires? Do you not? Normally, in your next gens, your oval cars, your Gen 4s, your Xfinities, you will not come down and take tires. So you're going to see a lot of different pit strategies as we go throughout this night. As now you can see that Porsche car has the lights off, so we are going to go green. You can see Brock moving back and forth, getting some heat in those tires. Especially when you get out there and you go into that turn one. And there you go, folks. Top right-hand corner, we're going to bring you that track map. I know it gets a little cut off there by the Trisha's Learning Center Gen 4 series, but you can see where all of your favorite drivers are. We're going to pop that up by car number so that you can see where they are here on the track. So there you go, Brock with a bit of a blinking issue. Hopefully that clears up for him. Christian Proctor is going to start on the right-hand side. JD Van Kirk is going to be your third place starter. Nick Raffini right beside of him. You're going to have Wilson, Kuko, Anderson, Canova there in the 70 car. That is Dylan. A fantastic starting position for him. Then you're going to have Alex Anderson, your points leader. He's going to start in 8th. Jake is going to be right there in 9th. Matt in 10th. Jorge is going to be in 11th. Davis is going to be in 12th. With my favorite man for tonight in that 69 machine. He is going to get all kinds of airtime because he has got the broadcaster all over his hood, so he is going to get some play. Then we've got Shane, Jim Thorndike, Robert White, and then Altman are going to round out your field for tonight. All right, so here we go, folks. That first turn, you can see it's going to be a sharp left-hander. That is always the most treacherous in road, is getting through that first turn, maybe the first 2 turns. Christian Proctor, you know, he is going to be ready to go. Brockdown is going to take him down. We are going to go green. On the right-hand side, Christian Proctor with a fantastic jump. He is going to stay right there. He's going to spin the tires a little bit. On the left is Brock. He's going to be able to outbrake him going into that first turn. Now, another blinking issue there with Brock. Several drivers are going to fan out here. They're going to be on the left-hand side of these other drivers going into this sharp right-hander, I'm sorry. Let's see if we can go back here and look. Oh, we've got one driver off. And that is going to be Kenny. Kenny in that 71 machine getting off early. Now, this is that long straightaway with this tight kind of bend in the straightaway there on the right-hand side. J.D. Van Kirk is going to look underneath of Nick Ruffini. Oh, Alex Anderson is going to go off. J.D. is going to go off. Now the 70 machine is caught up in this. Your points leader off the track. J.D. is off the track. J.D. looks like he is in good shape. Oh, we got another driver locking the tires up. And that is going to be the 70. Dylan now getting back. JD's getting back by the 70. Peter saying, come on, Shane, let's get up to the front. Shane is probably, Peter, I think, just biding his time. Man, it looks like Brock is going to blink his way to an early lead. He's going to be about a second and a half up. Christian Proctor with a ton of time over your third place of Jacob Wilson. But Christian about 1.9 seconds behind, so it does look like Brock is starting to put some gap on these drivers. Christian Proctor is going to be second. Jacob Wilson sitting right there in third. Now he is going to get challenged by Alex Anderson going off track earlier on, has now rebounded already up to fourth. Now he's going to look to the right-hand side under heavy braking. Jacob's going to allow him to go, so put Alex Anderson up there third. Now he's going to overshoot the turn. He's going to cut this again and cut him off, and that's going to force the 51 off of the track. So Alex just over here going bananas through these S's. Cutting that track, hopping right back on right in front of the 51. Now that's going to cost the 51 2 positions as the 70 and the 22 are going to get by. Peter saying, looks like a lot of grass mowing tonight. I'll tell you, that is definitely happening. Now Jorge Ledesma, he is off and crashed. Let's go back and take a look at Jorge and see what happened here. Here he is in the 44. He just misses the apex, folks. As you can see, he's way off of the apex there. Now he's coming down to this right-hander. Hey, Wendy, good to have you on board. And he is just going to get on that loud pedal a little too early. No harm, no foul. Now let's go over and take a look at Jim Thorndike. Jim has wrecked. So it does look like he is just going to wind up right. Let's see if we can back this up, find out what happened to Jim. Oh, Jim does not even have a front end. No wonder he does not have any downforce. He's going to come down. The 94 is going to get to the right-hand side of him. And it looks like Jim just does not have a turn. It looks like that car is broke. All right, let's see if we can get ourselves back up here. Nick Ruffini all over Jake. And it looks like Jake and Nick are going to battle each other. You can see all of that debris out on the track, folks. And what that is some of these drivers have come off track, kept up that debris. It is on track, and now they have to deal with that, these drivers. Ruffini is going to get that passed on. He's going to put the 37 back one more slot. So Jake is going to be in 10th. Nick now in 9th. We're going to go right back up here as Van Kirk now battling with the 70. I believe he has passed Dylan. Whitney saying she loves road course racing. I do too. Whitney, I love calling it a lot more than I enjoy driving it, but really love calling it. It does look like JD starting to run down the 67. He's shown quite a bit of speed here at this road course. He has gotten himself around Dylan, put himself up to 4th. Now he is on the charge going after that 67. Let's take a look at Davis. Davis showing he has crashed. Let's go back and take a look at him. We're going to back this thing up as it does look like he might have gotten into those tire barriers. And there he goes. He's just going to get loose and stop. No, he did not get into the barriers. He is all good. All right, let's go back up here and take a look at JD. JD trying to put some space between him and Dylan. Hasn't been able to do that. We saw earlier, lap 1, Kenny getting off track. So that is a driver all the way throughout this season so far we've seen with a ton of speed. It just seems like luck is just not on his side. But you can see there on the track map, he is grouped around about 4 other drivers. Jim Thorndike is going to take that thing down pit road. He is on pit road still. Let's see if we can go on board here with Kenny and see how these drivers are navigating around this track. You can see that really under braking. Now he's going to shoot down to the right-hand side, under braking. He's going to get underneath of Matt. I believe he's going to get this pass done. Again, really long straight, heavy braking zone here. You can see there's quite a bit of banking. Yep, exactly like he did there. You want to touch that curb. You want to touch this curb as well. Swing that out just a little bit. I think if Kenny gets that car a little bit off to the right on that turn, he can gain just a little bit more momentum. Doing a fantastic job. He now is looking at that 51 of Jacob Wilson. Jacob all over the track. Now I believe he's going to get by the 70 as the 70 gets off track. That's right in front of this driver that we are on board with now. Now Kenny just trying to be patient. You can see quite the elevation change as they go up over that hump, back down. It really loads and unloads the suspensions on these cars. That's right past your start-finish line. Now, you cannot get off to the left-hand side of that. If you do that, it's going to give you an off-track. It does look like Kenny is really good under full power, getting that braking down. Jacob Wilson still in front of the 70. 70 now starting to get back in front of him. Oh, JD Kirk is around. We just seen him go around. That is probably under throttle. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to JD, but I'm going to say that's under throttle on exit. So here he goes. Looks like he's got a little left rear damage there. And here he goes. He's going to come under heavy braking, and he's just going to loop it. Yep. That's just under braking for him. He's going to spin that around, get out of everyone's way. Really good run going on by that driver so far. Oh, man, this is going to Jacob under attack, and now the 70 is going to spin right in front of the 71. Everybody is going to dodge him. Dylan going around. Oh, he is not going to miss JD. The front end is going to come off. Let's go and look at JD's car. He's going to clip the right rear of JD Van Kirk. I don't see any damage. I think that 22 is okay. But Dylan without a front end. Man, you can see him right there in the background. It looks like that front end stayed on his car. That moves Jacob Wilson up another spot, and it moves Kenny up another spot. Kenny trying to come back from that earlier off track on turn 1, on lap 1. Battling back now. So Jacob had a really good car last week at Auto Club. Wendy saying, let's go. As it does look like, Wendy, he is going to get past there by the 71. I do believe Jacob finding a way to get that 71 around him with little to no loss of time. Really smart driving by him. He's going to let Kenny go and fight another day. Oh, Christian Proctor, your second place driver showing crashed. Let's go up to Christian and see what happened. What happened to Christian? Oh, he's just going to get under throttle. I don't see a ton of time lost for him, but that is going to put him now about 16 and a half seconds behind your leader there, Brock Morris. Brock, he is out here on cruise control, continuing to blink, though. That 05 machine, 16 and a half seconds up. Now 16.3 seconds up. So what is going to happen, and we're going to have to get off of him because it looks like he's blinking pretty badly, is Proctor is going to start falling back here to Alex Anderson if he does not get rolling. So you've got Brock as your leader. Christian Proctor is going to be second. Alex Anderson right there in third, and then Kenny is going to be in fourth. That is going to be followed up by Jacob Wilson there in fifth position. Matt in sixth. Nick is going to be seventh. Jake in eighth. JD in ninth. And then Dylan with that earlier spin is going to be running in your top 10. As you can see, Christian trying to come back from that spin. He's got Alex Anderson not too far behind him. Forbidden saying, let's go, Raven and Nick. Yeah, it looks like they are 7th and 8th on the board right now, so really good runs by them. Robert White showing off track. See if we can go and take a look at Robert. He's going to be my favorite driver tonight. I mean, it's obvious based on the paint scheme. He's going to get under braking, take that turn a bit wide. Yeah, and you can just see him push. You can see those wheels to the right, but not a whole lot he can do, and he is going to loop it. Nope, he is going to keep that thing steady, which is kind of a shame because we always want to see the front end of that car, but not able to do that. He's going to get that thing back on track. All right, so we're going to go back live. Christian Proctor, still your second place driver. Alex Anderson there in third, not too far behind. About 3.32 seconds. Your closest battle on the track right here is Nick Ruffini. He is all over the back end of Matt. Matt in that 72 machine there for Royalty Racing, having a nice run in sixth position. Forbid saying gravel might have helped him there. I do agree. Especially with these Gen 4 cars. You know, you can almost see the splitters connecting to that asphalt under braking, and we'll just watch them. You can see them pick up, what do they have, 3-4 inches of travel there. And then once they get under braking, they're almost touching the pavement. As you'll see, now Nick is going to go to the right-hand side. He's going to try to dive below. Matt is going to hold him off for right now. Matt's going to go wide, locking those up. He's going to get back on the track, but that's going to let Nick get by. Now Jake is going to get by. Raven taking the opportunity to sneak past Matt as Matt gets off track on defense there of the 04 car. Now right behind Matt comes JD. We saw JD all the way up to 4th earlier on in this race. Man, he's really using those curves where, folks, you can see him just right-hand side of the tires, left side of the tires. He is waiting on grip for those front tires to get up on the curve, and that gives him the max turn, so he's doing a great job there. Probably a bit gun-shy under throttle. And now he's going to look to the right-hand side of Matt. He's going to tuck right back in line. Not able to get that pass done, just probably a car length too far behind Matt. Man, we've got people all over the track going off track. Ledesma's off track. Zach is off track. Robert looks like he's went off track again. Whitney giving hearts to Revved Up Racing. I'll tell you, they have put on a show. Whitney, so far this season, Revved Up Racing has just dominated those podiums. Oh, Robert White crashed. Let's go back and take a look at my favorite paint scheme for the night. What has happened to Robert now? He is coming out of the pits, folks. I don't know if you can see that on the hood. It says John Ross is an amazing broadcaster. Just in case no one else can read it, it looks like he's going to get underneath of that bridge and just call it a night. So that is going to be the end of that 69 machine. Is now we're going to go back here. JD getting ever close to Matt. Matt now getting loose. I think JD's just going to follow him there to stay in his draft. That Royal Team Motorsports 72 trying to hold that 22 at bay. Man, I'll tell you, I think we talked about this. Got damage to the wheel. Someone sideswiped me. 6 minutes of repair. Man, Robert, I would think probably get back out there. You try to take that damage. You never know what's going to happen here because as it looks, we've got 12 drivers on the lead lap. Ledesma probably close to going a lap down to Brock Morris. Brock up 22.5 seconds here. Oh, now Matt is going to go wide. Open the door there, right-hand side. JD is going to get that passed on. So now Van Kirk is going to move up one more position there to 8th. The 94 machine going down pit road. You've seen him there in the back. Now we're going to go up to this battle between the 51 of Wilson and Nick Ruffini. This is going to be for 5th. Jeff saying, let's go Shane, and he likes the paint scheme on that 22. So before we left, JD, we talked about that a bit earlier in this season, how nice that paint scheme is. And if I'm not mistaken, and we've got a Van Kirk fan out here in chat, I believe he does schemes for these cars. So done a fantastic job there on that 22 machine. We heard a spin in front of us or a lockup there under braking. I don't see anybody. Man, Ruffini really throwing that thing in there through those double right-handers. And that is going to slow him down as he just kind of got sideways, had to get off of the throttle, started to work the brake a bit. That's going to allow Jacob Wilson to stretch that lead out to about a 0.7 of a second. Raffini really working that last turn, trying to get a good run off, and you can see how much momentum he gains off of that last turn. So we just crossed the start-finish line, now going down to this right-hander. Yeah, Rachel, there's Rachel. Yeah, he does a fantastic job. He definitely did a great job on that 22 machine of Van Kirk. We'll go back and take a look at that again. And then Wendy saying that that Jacobs looks good. Yes, I do remember, Wendy, when we spoke with Jacob last week, Jacob, an IRL driver, giving a lot of shout-outs to all of those people that he has there on that car. But, man, he has got a lot of racing to do. We get to be able to talk about it. But now he has got himself just a little out of rhythm as now Raffini all over the rear end here of that 51. He is going to shoot down to the right-hand side. I just don't think Jacob has the speed right now to hold this 04 off. That pass now completed. Raffini is going to be up to 5th. That is going to move Jacob back to 6th. So let's see if we can go back up here to Brock. We really want to spend some time on Brock, but he blinks so badly it's hard to be on board with him. As you can see him blinking right there. He is right now up, I mean, in about 24 seconds in front of Christian Proctor. All right, folks, not to be too dramatic. We saw what happened last week. Alex Anderson, Kenny, back at it again. This is going to be for your 3rd position. Kenny has tracked Alex down, and now Alex is going to have to dodge him. He's going to get back on track. Kenny is going to let him live. He did not push the envelope right there. And you know he could have. 67 getting off track into those right side tires into the gravel. Kenny letting off and letting him gather himself back up, and he has run this driver back down. Kenny having that first lap incident, now working his way back up as we are going to come across the start-finish line now with only 24 laps to go. Remember, we do have to make a pit stop in this 40-lap race. We are not quite halfway yet. You can see that splitter in contact with the ground as Kenny. Let's see if we can go on board with Kenny. Take a lap around with this driver. As you can hear that car, that Gen 4 car, want to break loose as that elevation changes. It starts to lift up. You can hear the suspension lift up. And man, when you're sitting in that sim, you can really feel that. And another pretty big elevation change here as they go down this elevation. And we're going to go back here because it does look like Nick Raffini getting that passed on Jacob Wilson, now showing as a crash victim. Let's see what happened here to the 04. We're going to get back on board here very soon. Oh, he's just going to double brake. You saw him double brake there. And that is going to allow Jacob Wilson to get back by there for 5th. And that is death when you have a ton of rear brake in that car. Now Alex Anderson moving around your 5 machine, putting that 5 of Shane a lap down. Now Kenny working to the right-hand side. He is going to put him a lap down. Right-hand side there of the 77 machine is Anderson, and now the 71 following him as well. Wendy saying, keep digging, number 51. That is Jacob Wilson. And Jacob, you know, sometimes, Wendy, you don't have to be the fastest to just be the most consistent. And sometimes consistency, most of the time, consistency pays off. It is certainly paying off for that driver tonight. 27 seconds. Now your gap back to Christian Proctor. Christian, we haven't spent a lot of time on him as he, again, 9.7 seconds in front of your third place driver of Anderson. Right behind him is Kenny. So Christian not getting a ton of screen time because he is stuck out here in no man's land as well, trying to find some way to get a bit of momentum here on Morris. I don't think that's going to be able to happen. Brock just in another zip code. Wendy saying, I love that Hello Kitty car design. Yeah, I agree with you. We call a couple of other leagues that have a driver with that Hello Kitty design on it as well. So, Christian, especially this one, looks really nice. I do like the purple added to that pink. But I got to tell you, Wendy, if we are voting for the best looking car, and I know that 51 has a good looking car, but this 22 machine, I mean, this 22 machine has a great looking car. I mean, it almost, from that chrome design, almost has a bomber style feel. Got the chrome numbers on it, outlined in orange. Just done everything right, it looks like to me, on this car. Let me know what you think. What's the best looking car? This 05, maybe he doesn't win the competition for the best looking car, but he certainly is the fastest car out here tonight. Brock Morris just pacing this field around. 28 second now your gap, and we are not quite halfway. He's not going to be able to get a lap on this field, but he is going to be able to lap. Let's see, if we are 22 laps in, he could potentially lap up to 6th position. If he does not blink out, let's see what this looks like for him. Yeah, he's just going to blink out for us. It's just going to be too hard to stay with him. This is going to be your start-finish line right here. You can see that Honda line right there is your start-finish line. Every time it goes there to that sky view, that's just a blink for him. We just got a pretty bad connection tonight. All right, so we're going to go right back to this battle. Not without his drama. Not without his drama from last week. Kenny needs a good run. I believe he's 9th in the points. He needs this finish. Really needs this podium finish. Wendy said, I'm old enough to remember that Morris car looks like Herbie Sadler's slip-in. You know, I have not heard, Wendy, I have not heard Herbie Sadler's name in forever. Now, Kenny, heavy on that throttle. But I do remember, Wendy, if we're going back down memory lane, I went to Myrtle Beach, which is a short track. Kenny now getting loose again, so he is really driving this Gen 4 car here around Mid-Ohio, trying to get some speed down. I do remember going to Myrtle Beach and watching that 01 Babe Ruth car in that ARCA series pick up that win, and that was none other than Jeff Gordon before he jumped up to Cup. So, all right, Ledesma looks like he has crashed. Let's see if we can go back and take a look at him. It's going to be after your start-finish line. Under, oh, and he's just going to get that thing just under throttle, a bit sideways. No harm, no foul, no damage to that car. Back on track. 32 seconds now. Your gap between Christian Proctor, and there you go. Kenny is going to come down. He's going to bring this thing down pit lane. Alex Anderson is down pit lane as well. All of these drivers here halfway. Let's see if they're going to get some tires. Alex pulling into his stall. It does look like that 71 is going to be up on the right-hand side. Now Anderson up on the left-hand side. So he is going to get 4 tires and get down. 71 are going to do the same. Now the 85 is going to come out of the pits. The 85 a couple laps down. And now this 05, you can see very similar paint schemes. The 05 and the 44 Ledesma look exactly the same. Man, these cars just cannot get away from each other. The 22 all over the 71. 71 needing to find his way around the 5. The 5 a lap car. It looks like the 5 is going to take that right-hand side. He's going to have that shallow entry. 71 able to get around him. The 22 is going to follow. So JD all over the back end of the 71. He wants to get this pass done, but I do believe JD needs to come down and pit. You see a couple of other drivers. It looks like behind us, Davis has went off track. We saw him behind us go off track and touch those tire barriers. Let's see if we can go back and take a look. He's just going to take that wide. Right there, lock those tires up. Just a ton of rear brake. He is going to hit the tire barriers. Pretty significant left front damage to that 85 machine. And now the 22, he is down for service. Your leader still on the track, this 05 of Morris. 33 seconds now up over your second place driver here of Christian Proctor. Now in third is going to be Jacob. Jacob Wilson now in third position. Nick Raffini is going to be in fourth. Unfortunately, these drivers are going to have to come down and at least get some fuel now. It does look like Jacob going to stay out yet another lap. And if you have no plans on changing tires, you do not have to cut this race in half. Because the least amount of fuel that you need to take to get yourself to the finish is less time there on pit road. So when you look at this, you want to make sure that, you know, a lot of these drivers coming down on lap 20 because they're going to cut that directly in half. Now, Robert Altman has crashed. We're going to go back and take a look at Robert. But if you don't need to, you stay out and you take less time in the pits. So look at this 94 machine. Under the bridge. Yep, again, just on throttle. That's the same spot that we have seen a couple of drivers lose it tonight. No contact with anyone else. Christian Proctor now coming down pit road. Let's see what Wilson's going to do in that 51 machine. He is up 3 spots from where he started. Is he going to keep himself out? Or is it time for him to come down pit road to get service? Is Proctor going to get tires? There he is. He has landed. The right-hand side is up. I would assume if he's going to take rights, he is going to take lefts. Plenty of time for Christian, very securely in second spot. That service is done, and he is now down and away. That is going to put Wilson in second. He still needs to pit. Raffini's going to be in third. He still needs to pit. "17 laps to go." Man, it looks like Nick is turned up right now in this Gen 4 car. You can just really see him on the exit, get that car sideways, putting the power down as soon as he can. He has started to get more and more comfortable with this Mid-Ohio track. Getting fantastic rotation through the center. And one of those things that you have to know on road courses is you want to be able to rotate in the center. You want to feel the front tires turn. If you don't and you slide the front tires, as he is going to slide the rear tires on the exit of that, but if you slide those front tires and they get hot, you just lose all ability to get good rotation in the center of the turns and turn fast lap times. There he goes, the 04. He is off the track now, going down pit road. Again, that is going to leave Brock and Jacob. They are both out here still turning laps. 16 laps to go. Let's see if we get some time with Brock. You can really see that chassis work on these Gen 4s, yeah, and he's just going to keep blinking. Really difficult to stick with him there. Jacobs put on a very, very nice run. Now, Christian has already come down to pit. Now, you can see those two drivers are only about 8 seconds apart. So, once Jacob comes down, that is going to put him back. We're probably going to slot him in somewhere around 7th to 8th when he exits this pit. But again, this is going to be really, really quick for him because he's not going to have to take as much fuel as some of these other drivers now with 15 laps to go. All right, so here we go. Van Kirk all over the back end of Matt. We saw this fight earlier on in the race, and it is back at it again. 72 there in 9th position. I'm sorry, he is going to be in 8th position. Van Kirk is going to be in 9th. JD really getting on the back end. JD's turning extremely well right now as well. Does look like Matt might be a bit out of sequence. JD has just found something here. He's just looking good, comfortable. You just watch that orange stripe on that wheel. Just look how comfortable he is. He is on him through braking. Big elevation change here, coming down to a heavy braking zone. See that elevation change? Another elevation change. You come downhill. This is going to be for your start-finish line. You're going to have a small hill here and then a left-hander. Again, be careful not to cross that curb. Matt's getting really good right rear bite. Uphill. And then another downhill. So this is what makes it extremely hard to get back on the throttle as you change those elevations. That car is loading and unloading the suspension, so you just have to be extremely patient in these Gen 4 cars. Early downshift that helps that car rotate. He's just doing everything right. Very, very patient. You just see how on edge these cars are. Now let's go back up here. This battle still not over. The 67-71. They're going to argue over third. Somebody wants that podium position. Who wants to talk to your broadcaster tonight? Which one is it? 71 had the opportunity to get that pass done earlier on in that race, and 67 gets off track. It looked like the 71 just kind of slowed down for him. Now he is going to have to find a way around his revved up racing partner and teammate here in that 67. That is your points leader. Kenny, I believe a driver that can contend here for this championship. Oh, and he is going to just get crazy loose coming down these S's. Kenny using the curves the best that he can. All right, so Van Kirk still trying to work on the back end of Matt. Now he's got your leader in Brock Morris all over the back end here. And he is going to shoot down to the right-hand side. JD is going to shut the door. Brock trying to find his way around. Now, 35-second lead. I believe Brock can be patient. Not a whole lot that he needs to do to push the envelope, especially with the blinking issue that he has. And there you go. He's just disappearing from time to time. I don't know how this pass is going to get done. He's going to look to the left. And now I believe JD's going to back off. Yeah, he is. He's going to let the 05 slot in right in front of him. Smart move there by the 22. Get that 05 by. He is the leader. You also, when he blinks out, it's extremely hard to find out where he's at. Now looking underneath the mat. Matt, he is your 8th place driver. So now with 12 laps to go, the 05 all over your 8th place driver. Christian Proctor still firmly in second spot. He's about 9 seconds ahead there of Alex. Kenny about 8/10 behind Alex. Now the 05 is going to get a great run there on Matt. He is going to get that pass done. So the 05 now is going to get by these two. Now what that has allowed JD to do is get extremely close to the back end of the 72. That is for position. Matt in 8th, JD there in 9th. JD getting those right side tires off the track. I do believe that he does have the quicker car than the 72. It's just going to be about finding a way around him. Picking your spot to pass. You really want to see if you can rotate through the center and get down under them, underneath of that driver on the exit. You want that right-hand side on the next turn. Now JD looking wide. Trying to do a crossover, looking left now. Man, Matt just playing fantastic defense there in that Royalty Motorsports 72 machine. Now he's going to lock the brakes up there on the left rear. All over the back end, JD Van Kirk, he wants that position. Matt in the 72 is fighting for everything that he has. Both of those drivers heavy under braking, trying to get this right-hander done. And you can see right there on your track map, we are highlighting the 72. You can't even see the 22. He is so close to him. Ten laps to go, folks, in this race here at Mid-Ohio. The 72 and the 22 are knotted together, and they are going to argue over this spot. Man, JD tried to turn early. He just cannot get the power down soon enough. You saw just a little slip out of that 22 when he tried to get the power down on the exit of that turn. Rachel in the chat. Rachel, I know you were chewing your fingernails off. We do show that Nick Ruffini, ahead of these two drivers, has crashed. I do not see that Nick has started to fall back, so we're just going to stick right with this battle. What is JD going to do? He has been sizing up the 72 every single lap. Man, he's got a great run here. He's going to stay behind him. And oh, he's going to get almost to the rear bumper of the 72. He's going to back off. That's actually going to give him a really nice run there on that left-hand side. Still staying in line right behind the tire tracks of the 72. JD has to be thinking now the 94, you saw him spun out. That is Altman. Spun out as we went by. JD, nice turn, nice rotation. Matt just fighting him off, getting nice grip on the outside. Now, you can see Ledesma. Now he is going to be underneath him, the 22, and he's going to get loose. He's going to get that passed on. Heavy braking. What a surprise pass by the 22. Now the 72 is going to battle back. Not able to pull that right-hand side lower line. JD is going to get this pass done. Now can he pull away from the 72? Right in front of him is going to be a lap car. That looks like Ledesma. Yeah, Ledesma, it looks like he's going to get sideways going into this turn. Ledesma's off track. That's going to slow up JD. 44 getting out of the way. And I believe you're going to start to see this 22 car pull away with 8 laps to go. Man, what fantastic patience. Great run by the 72. These two drivers now are going to separate. So we're going to go back up here to this battle. And this is for third position. Kenny wants it. The 67 has it. 67 making a couple of off-track moves earlier on, folks. I don't remember if you saw that. If you did, make sure you go back and take a look at it. Hopping off track here in the S's. Actually gaining a little time jumping off track there. Getting that third position. And he has not relented that spot. Christian Proctor up about 10 seconds on both of these drivers. But if Kenny is going to make a run, it's going to have to be now. Start finish line, 7 laps to go. It seems like Kenny's cooled his tires off, slid back a bit, then he's moved forward. Oh my goodness, the 67. That was almost a wreck, folks. Now, you might not think that was big, but that was a huge moment by the 67, and he's still loose. You can tell that grip on those tires going away. He is still shaking that car left to right. Try to find some traction on those tires. Oh, and off he goes. He could not find traction. He could not get those things cooled back down. He is going to shoot off track. Now he's going to jump back on track in fourth, but that is going to allow the 71 to get this pass done. So put Kenny up to third position. We saw that in real time. Six laps to go. Let's see if we can get on to Brock. Brock, are you still blinking, or can we spend a little time with you? 42 seconds up. And just to be transparent on our lap times, Brock turns about a 25.7, 26. And the rest of the drivers are, it looks like Christian's in the 27s, but everyone else in the 29s, 30s, and 31s. So this driver just on a different planet tonight. He is probably going to lap all the way up to fifth position. Nick is going to be a 6. He's going to give way to the 05, and 05 is going to get that passed on. 5 laps to go. I don't think he is going to catch Jacob, who is in 5th spot, but about 9 seconds ahead of him, maybe even 10 seconds ahead. He has put on one heck of a show. You can guarantee he is going to be there at Chicago Road Course. You'd like to see this driver join us from some oval racing. But man, sometimes you get a few of these guys out here racing. I think, Wendy, you were talking about a little bit earlier. Do you remember some of those drivers back in the day? Marcus Ambrose. Gosh, there was one even before Marcus Ambrose that were what you would consider to be road course ringers, or those drivers that would come out to these road courses and they just knew how to handle a road course. Doesn't matter what car you put them in, they just knew how to handle it. They can get around better than anyone else. They know every square inch of these tracks, where to hit the curbs, where to brake, where to throttle up. And they come out and they just put on a show for all of these drivers, and that is what Brock Morris has done for these drivers tonight. Really put them on notice to say, hey, you know, you might be fantastic oval drivers, which they are, but man, we have some speed on road, and if you want to beat me, you're going to have to find some more. 44 seconds the gap now between this driver and Christian Proctor. In second, there was another driver, Wendy, that was before Marcus Ambrose. That was he ran supercars in Australia, and he would come in specifically for Watkins Glen, for the Cup cars. And I cannot remember that gentleman's name, but he was like the very best Australian GT supercar racer that they had seen. So don't remember what his name was, but yes, they would come in and they would be ringers. That is what's happened tonight in true Gen 4 fashion. You've got Brock Morris coming in here and strutting his stuff. 45 seconds now, that lead to Proctor. I'm going to go back and take a look at this battle. Now, this battle is not over. It looks like Alex Anderson going completely off track. Somehow that driver has found his way back to the 71. And now these two drivers only 0.4 of a second apart with 3 laps to go. Now he's going to take a shot down to the right-hand side. under braking. He's going to move under braking and give this 71 driver all he can handle. The 71 of Kenny trying to get back on the throttle. He's going to give plenty of room there to his teammate. He's going to have the preferred line here on the left side. Oh, they're going to get oh so close together. Side by side they go down this elevation change. Both of those drivers just a bit sideways. The 67 going to get that pass done again, so put him back up to third. Alex, we thought he was left for dead. Come back, picking up that third spot. Now, any slip up, any mistake, any lock up of those brakes, that 71 machine is back by that 67. Man, it does look like the 67 bobbled a bit on the exit of that turn. I don't think that's going to be enough. As a matter of fact, it looks like he was able to lay the power down pretty well. Oh, and there he goes. He's going to brake hard, get those brakes hot on the right-hand side. Now, back. Oh, and you can see the front brakes lock up on Kenny's machine. Kenny's going to have to back out of that and give the 67 the position again. Now, Kenny's going to go off. He's going to get back on as the 67 wiggles down the straightaway. 2 laps to go now. These drivers just knotted together. Kenny trying to find a way back around. This race is not over. I just feel like Kenny's got one more in him. The 67, it seems like, does not have a whole lot of right rear left in that car. And now Kenny's going to go around and make contact with the tire barrier. Can he get back around before Jacob Wilson catches up to him? Pretty heavy right front damage there by the 71 machine. Now, let's go back up here and take a look as Brock Morris is going to take that white flag. One more lap to go. He's got to navigate around the 70 car. Kenny is going to be in good shape as long as he can keep that car on track. That race between him and Alex Anderson is now over. But what else can you say about this driver? 48-second lead there over Christian Proctor, who is doing a fantastic job all race long. Jacob Morris navigating his way around Mid-Ohio in this Gen 4 machine. A few more turns and he is going to claim victory. And he is going to lap this field all the way up to the 4th position. Blinking his way all the way to this checkered flag. Just a few more turns. He's going to take this elbow, and then he is going to be crossing your start finish line. There you have it, Mid-Ohio. Brock Morris, your winner there in that 05 machine. Christian Proctor coming around. He is going to claim your 2nd position. Coming down to that elevation change, a quick downshift. You just tell how far ahead Brock was. Christian getting that thing done. Here he comes. One more turn. He is going to claim a podium position. Nothing wrong with that. 2nd place, that 13 machine, Christian Proctor, getting it done. One of your best races on the track, the 67 and the 71, once again going at it. But the 67 is going to claim your podium position as he comes around now to take that checkered flag. Alex Anderson is going to be in third place. So there you have it, folks. Kenny's going to wind up in fourth. Jacob Wilson's going to be in fifth. Nick Raffini is going to be in sixth. Jake is going to wind up in seventh. JD in eighth. Matt in ninth. And then Dylan is going to round out your top 10. Dylan's going to be your only car 2 laps down. Wendy saying congratulations. Yeah, I will tell you, just fantastic job by all of these drivers navigating around this. When you take a Gen 4 car, and you put them on a track like this, it is always hard to get around this track, but these drivers definitely did that. Let's see if we can show your official results, and there you have it. Brock, Christian, Alex, Kenny, and Jacob, your top 5. Nick, Jake, JD, Matt, and Dylan rounding out your top 10. Davis, Shane, Jorge, Robert, Zach White, Robert White, and Jim Thorndike are going to round out your top 17 drivers. All right, so let's see if we can get some drivers in here somewhere along the way. All right, so let's take a look, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Rachel saying, great race, everyone. It really was a great race, Rachel. JD had some really nice battles all the way throughout this track, all the way throughout this race. Let's see if we go in here and drag some people up. What do you think? Let's see. Can we pick up Alex Anderson? Let's see if we can talk to your third place driver here of Anderson. Alex, is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Well, man, I will tell you, fantastic battle between you and Kenny. Couple of off tracks early on. Looks like through those S's, jumped off track, hopped back on track. Later on in the race, got the brakes a bit hot. Off track again. Then Kenny goes off track. Man, just walk me through your race.
I mean, it was just wasn't really racing anybody. It was more just kind of racing the track, just trying to. I mean, this first road course race I've ever done on those cars, just trying to keep it on track, keep it pointed straight, and just wait for the checkered flag. But yeah, I mean, it was more unpredictable than anything because I mean, you lose focus for 1 second, and suddenly you're running through the gravel. So it's just you had to stay dialed for about an hour, and other than that, wasn't too bad. It's just had some moments going off track, getting loose, had some pretty crazy saves, but nothing too terrible for the 67 car. Glad to bring home another podium.
Well, if you think about it, man, like, when you look at all these things throughout your success so far for this season, bringing home another podium on a difficult track, it's a difficult car at a tough track. We do have Chicago Road Course, and we have another road course there in the championship that you've got to look at. You've got to think pretty positively. Bringing home another podium finish tonight. Alex, fantastic job, man. We'll turn it over to you, let you give you shout outs.
Well, first, I mean, I did want to say something about that, dude. I hate the Chicago street course so much, like with a burning passion. I will never understand how people enjoy that place.
It's
It's
coming, though.
it's 133 90-degree corners where the wall jumps out at you like Dover, and there's just zero grip all the time. There's no grip. You could run the IRO one through there, there'd be no grip. But and then Road America, I hate that place too. we're, we're running all the road courses that I don't like at all. I've never had a good race at Road America, like ever. Never had a good one there. It's a kind of fun track, but again, it's just a million 90-degree corners. But regardless, just to get out of your way, definitely got to thank my parents, obviously, biggest sponsors. Couldn't do none of this without them. So thanks, mom and dad. Um, Thanks to everybody back at the Revved Up shop giving me this car, even though it drove like a dump truck, able to wheel it home to another podium. Thanks to everybody at Top Tier for putting on the show for us, and thanks to you for the broadcast. And I think that's all I got.
Well, you did a heck of a job, man. Congratulations bringing home another podium. At the very least, it was a great race between you and Kenny once again. So fantastic job. And listen, we'll be back to Oval next week. A little bit more of your wheelhouse, but man, you cannot complain about a podium. So congratulations, man.
I don't like Kansas either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a series of just no.
Yeah, it does happen, man. But we look forward to it. Listen, if you can bring a
I
podium
mean,
home here,
it's
you
not.
can certainly bring a win home there.
It's not like I don't like Kansas. I would just rather do any other track. Like Kansas is fun, but I would rather just race anywhere else
Mm.
because it's like it's top feeding
Yep.
until the tires wear out, and then when the tires wear out, it's just not fun. You're just driving a freight train.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and the
So
Gen 4 is going to be a different animal there too, especially with the update, right? Because that right front tire seems to burn up more than it did but prior to the update. So it will be a plow box later on in those green flag runs.
so I will be putting the brake bias to 35 and hoping I can make it to pit road.
Yeah, you got
That's
it.
that's what's gonna happen. But anyways, so I'll get out of your hair. You have a good one, man.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so there is your third place driver there of Alex Anderson. Not looking forward to a couple of the tracks coming up, but something in me feels like he's going to do pretty good. Now, before we get rolling, Wendy, Richard Dick Johnson, I do remember Richard Johnson. So yeah, I think I'm aging myself there. All right, so let's see if we can bring up Christian Proctor. He definitely deserves a conversation. Christian, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, you got me?
I do have you. Well, listen, we didn't give you a whole lot of screen time because you just kind of out there on your own doing what you do, turning some fantastic lap times. Walk me through how this Gen 4 car handled here at Mid Ohio and how your race went.
I'll be honest with you, this car handled like crap. It was horrible. It was bad. Um, I don't think I've honestly been in a stock car on a road course and it be that bad. I love running stock cars on road courses, but that was rough. A lot of fun, but it was rough.
Yeah, do you think really, Christian, was it putting the power down? Was it the braking? Was it mid-turn? What do you think was the most difficult here on the Gen 4?
Honestly, putting the power down was pretty hard. And then also braking. It either wanted to lock up the brakes or if you downshifted a little too soon, it would just start wheel hopping.
I
There's
got
no
you.
in between.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, it looked like you just kind of got into a rhythm. It looked like Brock was just gone from the very drop of the green flag, but you got into a really good rhythm. Started to pace yourself out in front of any of those drivers behind you, got into a good spot and just ran your race. Man, congratulations on bringing a podium home.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Brock's quick. I haven't raced against him much on oval. He doesn't run the ovals. He just runs road. But he's quick on road, and I knew once he was starting up front, he was just going to pull away. So I was just more worried about staying on track and keeping everybody else behind me.
Well, it's one of the things we talk about with you every week, how difficult it is to pass you and how hard you run, and you run with passion. We always love to see that. Here you are picking up a podium. I look for you to pick up many more podiums here in the oval tracks that we've got coming up, namely next week. I think next week you're going to have a really good run. Christian, congratulations on second place finish. I'll turn it over to you, man.
Thanks, Finn. Yeah, I've had a bad season, I guess, so far with running little incidents here and there, but hopefully I'll end up on podium a lot more often up there on the ovals, and I run pretty decently, I feel like, on oval. It just I either burn the tires up or catch some bad luck here and there. But yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, you can never complain about a podium. You bring it home. We expected. I think you were my pick to win tonight because I felt like I've seen you run in other leagues on the road. I knew you were going to be strong, and man, you did not disappoint. Congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so there is your second place driver of Christian Proctor. Now let's see if we can bring your winner in here of Brock Morris. Brock, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
How's it going?
Hey man, first of all, you blink like crazy. I'd love to give you some more screen time, but man, when you're out to a 48-second lead, it's hard to do that. But walk me through your race. Looked like you got very comfortable really early on, turning about 2 seconds a lap faster than most of those other drivers behind you. Walk me through your race.
Yeah, first of all, sorry for the blinking. I know that was going on throughout it. My teammates were telling me, and yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, just kind of, I knew take it easy first lap, and then just kind of start running comfortable lap times. Didn't want to push it too much because it's a very unforgiving course. A lot of off camber, high speed corners. So yeah, just kind of settling in. I felt like on that first run, I might have burnt up the fronts a little much with some early lockups and that I didn't recover from, but that second run I felt like was really good and pretty consistent. Yeah, but for the most part, it was just keeping the thing on track and just staying comfortable.
One of the things that I noticed about you as we were going to you was really your use of the curbs and being able to get the Gen 4 on the curbs and helping you rotate through those turns. It looked like some other drivers were struggling with that. If they laid the power down a little bit early on the curbs, they wanted to over rotate and spin those cars out. Was it just one of those things where in the back of your mind, you're thinking, man, I really have to be patient. I really have to hit these things right and not over rotate these cars?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you're on a stock car on a road course, you just cannot overdrive. And something I've found is, drive a stock car on a road course like any other car, but 8/10 is fast, and you'll be faster by doing that. So yeah, it's just a lot of being patient and jumping up on those curbs. You got to use all the track width because these can't carry much speed. So a little 10th here, 10th there by getting up on the curbs, that will go a long way.
It really will, right? Because if you do a 10th here, 10th there, and you do that every turn, by the time you have 12 turns in an entire lap, you're a second and a half faster. And man, you were able to do that. You did that all night long. Really put the beat down. I think you lapped all the way up to fourth, I believe. Just a fantastic job. I'm certain we're going to see you for Chicago Road Course and then Road America, correct?
Chicago for sure. Road America, I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
But I think there's a good chance you see me there.
Yeah. Well, I would say how you drove tonight, I would if you were not there, I would be absolutely surprised. But fantastic job here, bringing home a very dominant win at a tough track in a tough combo. Brock, I'll turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs.
All right. Well, thank you. First off, Corn Dog Designs. I do designs on cars. We have every single race this season has been won by a car that I painted. So I'm not saying these paints make people win races. I'm just saying there is a correlation. Other than that, Kettering Esports, I think we got some guys watching right now. So, hey, guys. There are guys at Revved Up. Thank you for letting me be here, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, fantastic job, man, and we look to see you here at Chicago Road Course.
All right, thank you. See you.
Yep, thank you. Well, there it is, folks. Mid-Ohio Road Course's first road course of the season. We've got a ringer in our midst. Brock Morris bringing home a dominant win. We got Chicago Road Course coming up. We have another road course that's going to be in the championship battle. So that throws a monkey wrench into everything as well. Man, I don't know how that is going to go, but I can tell you this. Congratulations to that driver. Congratulations to Christian Proctor for picking up a much-needed podium position and finish by that driver on second. And then Alex Anderson, your point leader, bringing home yet another podium as he continues to rack up top 3 finishes throughout this season. So, folks, I don't know what else to tell you, but, man, that was one heck of a race. Rena, Wendy, everybody out there in chat that we talk to every week, we certainly want to say thank you very much. We certainly appreciate everybody coming in. Peter, everybody coming in and giving us comments, because if it wasn't for you watching, there would be no point in us broadcasting. So thank you very much. Here from Royalty, We're going to be back next week again. You are going to have a sub in next week, but I promise you, he will be fantastic for you, and you will not miss a beat. And then we will see you after that Kansas race. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good night, everyone.